What's up, NYJohn here with 5 Stars versus Team Ward. This is going to be the Go for Dota Saturday Night Cup. And we did see a nice game in Game 1. 5 Stars pulling out after quite a long game, 50 plus minutes. They end up getting it with a nice strategy that involved a lot of movement across the map. Nature's Prophet plus Tinker allowed them to be very mobile, and eventually it was just too much for Team Rainbow to handle. So they were eliminated in that one. Moving on to this game, though, it will be 5 Stars versus Ward. Both teams picking up a win in their first matchup. So we'll see how they're able to do now, and we'll check out the bans as they come out. It looks like 5 Stars have taken out Broodmother as well as Leshrac. Ward have taken out Lycan and Nature's Prophet. So we will not see two of the heroes that were featured in the last game already. Nature's Prophet and Leshrac will not make it to the hero selection pool. And 5 Stars are waiting on their third and final ban. Leshrac, Broodmother, they have first pick, so usually when you have first pick, your last ban you can gear a little bit in your favor. They're going to take out Invoker, so this is going to open up either Chen or perhaps Naga, if I dare say it again, even though it didn't pan out in the first game and nobody ended up choosing her. Darkseer is going to be the final ban for Ward, so Chen is available. So a lot of options available for 5 Stars at the moment. We'll see what they want to go for. They ran an Enigma last game. It was played by Mr. Columbia, so he seemed very strong in the jungle. And Naga Siren will be the first pick of this game. So 5 Stars, making me doubt the validity, and ends up getting picked here. And then Ward will pick up Undying as their first pick. And let me just check out the stream quality for a second.
Dire team pick.
Looks like Undying will be joined by Tinker, and then 5 Stars will respond with an Enigma pickup. So probably see that Mr. Columbia again. He did a good job last game. And who will they add as their final pick before the second round of bans? It will be Tidehunter, so that nice combo. Naga Siren is going to have a field day. Song of the Siren plus Ravage plus Black Hole. What can Ward do to try and respond to that? We have seen some teams make use of heroes such as Disruptor with that AoE silence. Pretty strong and infuriating for Tidehunter as well as Enigma. So perhaps Disrupt is an option. Kunkka will be the choice. So Ward, really exciting picks coming out, and this should be a fun game. Undying plus Kunkka already, and it looks like those are going to be the 3 heroes they want to put farm on in all likelihood. We're going into the second banning phase, so 5 Stars probably best suited to target supports and junglers. So Chen and Enchantress, 2 valid options. They're going to take out Venomancer, so it's going to be a support choice. That was the other option. It looks like Ward are going to take out Rubik. And Shadow Demon going to be the second one. Shadow Demon, of course, works very well with Kunkka. You can chain it up pretty efficiently with that Torrent. And overall, just one of the better supports available in the game. And the last ban from Ward is going to be Razor. Did not see that one coming. And 5 Stars pick up an Ancient Apparition. The Ancient Apparition, of course, combos very well with Naga Siren. We'll see how that works out in the laning phase. Warlock pickup from Ward as they continue to surprise. And it looks like they have something in mind. They must have practiced the strategy. And we'll see how it's going to work against the 5 Stars who look like they have a well-oriented team thus far. As they're going to try and round it up with a 5th choice here. Excuse me. It's going to be Queen of Pain. So they get an aggressive burst damage solo to add on to their carry Naga Siren. 2 supports. Ooh. Are they going to put Tidehunter in the long lane or Enigma in a lane? Interesting. It looks like Tidehunter's going to be in the long lane. So we'll see how that pans out. And meanwhile, we see the final pickup for Ward will be Bane. So Bane, I would have never guessed any of these picks except for maybe Tinker, so I'm glad I didn't try. Ward coming out with one of the most unique lineups I have ever seen. And we'll see exactly how it pans out for them as this game is about to begin momentarily. And you can take a look and feast upon the new Versus screen, which is pretty cool. It definitely looks a lot more clean than the old setup. So props to Valve for continually improving this game, making our way towards release. This is Go for Dota Saturday Night Cup. I'm NYJohn, your host right now, shoutcasting these matches. It is Ward versus 5 Stars, and we're about to get going. Here it is. We are live. Let me switch up my little graphic thing. This is the extent of my graphic creativity. And we'll check out who's playing what hero as we have an early pause coming out. It will be from 5 stars. And they don't have their 4th player in, it seems like. I'm not Magori, maybe AFK during the picking phase. One of the benefits of being in captain's mode. If you're not the captain, you can probably just walk away for a while. Let him have all the pressure. So, we'll go over who's playing what for 5 stars. We have Kazers playing the Queen of Pain. We have Mr. Columbia on top of Enigma. 8A playing the Naga Siren. And Kova on top of that Ancient Apparition. 8A had a phenomenal game on Tinker last matchup. Kazers did really well, had good shackles on top of Windrunner. Mr. Columbia on the same hero, Enigma. Expect to see big things coming out from him. A little bit reluctant to use those early game black holes. Maybe that will change now that he gets some opportunities in this game. Go Cole is active. We'll go over the Ward lineup over a chance. It's going to be Leem on top of Tinker. Warlock being played by, I can't even begin to say his name, so I'm going to call him X. 1488 is going to be playing Undying. Unagi is going to be playing Kunkka. And Isver is going to be playing Bane. And we're going to head off into the lanes. I don't even know, I can't begin to guess how Ward are going to try and lane this. So I will reserve all judgment and all predictions to try and save my image. And it looks like everybody's getting set up. Nagasaren's going to head to the top lane. Enigma's going to be in the jungle. Looks Kova may head to the middle lane for the time being. Kazer's already there, though. And I'm not Magori. It's going to solo the long lane yet again. Excuse me. Just have to check some stream stuff. Make sure everything's up and running well.
30 seconds to battle.
Okay, looks like we're good. So Undying is going to head up to the long lane. Is he going to be solo up there? Can he manage? That's going to be a very difficult lane against that combo coming out from Naga Siren plus Enigma and Ancient Apparition if he rotates up as well. In fact, that's going to be pretty easy kills. Even though he is a tanky hero and tough to dive, he's not going to really get within experience range. He's definitely not going to get last hits.
The battle begins.
And they're going to pursue I'm Not Magori. Back him up a little bit here as they get a nice illusion rune on Isver. I may have trouble pronouncing some of these names throughout the game, but I'll do my best to try and pick him off and make him easy for myself. A pause coming out from 5 stars yet again. It's going to be 8A this time with the call. Should only be a moment, though. Thank you for tuning in and being patient. This is the second game I'm broadcasting of the day. 5 stars has been in both games. And we'll see how they manage up against Ward. We've certainly picked a unique lineup in this one. And it looks like they're going to even lane it pretty uniquely. They're going to try and get as much farm on the Kunkka as possible. Kunkka plus Bane plus Warlock. And it's definitely a lane that can output a lot of damage. The question is, they have to really get a lot of kills to make it worth something because they don't push that well, these heroes. There's only 2 real AoE skills between them. So it's going to be pretty difficult. Fatal Bonds and then, of course, the Tidebringer are the 2 AoE skills that can push a little bit, but they don't have any damage on the towers or anything specific for that, so they're going to have to get a lot of kills. And in fact, I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw them roam a little bit early, but early D-Ward, really good job from Ward there. A little bit ironic because of their name. So getting rid of those wards really is important. If you can make them blind for the first 6 minutes on the runes, it gives mid a huge advantage in your favor. Amna Magori is going to run into a couple of Ward team members in the jungle, but they're not even going to look his way twice. And they'll proceed down to the lane. There's another D-Ward up here. It looks like, oh, Kova's going to ward right on top of it, and they could be completely blind. They may be in trouble, 5 stars. Meanwhile, 1488 comes up into the lane. He's going to pop off an early Tomb. So, interesting choice to pick up Tomb as his first item. You think you want to be a little bit more careful. Perhaps get Decay or even Soul Rip. Just to be a little bit more cautious in the lane, but he goes level 1 Tomb. Now he's going to be pushed off the lane entirely. And it's going to be a while before he can really get within XP range. If they maintain the flow of this lane pretty well, in fact, Kova can probably back off and pull a little bit. Or maybe they'll have Enigma pull for him. On bottom lane, same is going to be said about Tideunder. Actually, he's getting some experience right now. So, good for him. I'm not sure why the pressure backed off. Warder a little bit back here. Interesting choice. And they're going to They're popping up a D ward, but it's not blocked. So very curious options coming out thus far from Ward. And as I said earlier, these are some up-and-coming teams getting to play in a tournament format. Go for Dota, Saturday Night Cup. It's a fun option. Go check out the website if you get a chance. I put the link in the stream chat before. And on the middle lane, we're going to have Liam getting a... Oh, Kazer's going to jump on him. Uses a nice Shadow Strike, but in return, the laser is going to stop Kazers from the auto attack damage. Rocket come out, but Liam backs off a little bit. Allow Kazers some space to pop off a nice salve. If he jumps back in here, he may be in trouble. Kazer's going to jump back in, but he can't get within range of Liam. So Liam will be just fine. Still level 1 on Undying. He's about to hit level 2, though, so here's the wave in their favor. They didn't pull enough, so he will get his experience. Just takes a while. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane pursuit on top of Amna Magori, Isver is in hot pursuit if he can get off asleep, but he doesn't have enough mana for it anyway. It looks like Kunkka going to come around the other side. He's going to put up a torrent, but Amna Magori dodges the torrent, perhaps inadvertently as he makes his way back to the lane, and he is playing rather aggressively, being this far forward in the lane. However, they don't have the best options to try and stop him, so, you know, they only have a sleep, and the high mana cost on Bane is going to make it pretty difficult to spam anything off. And they don't have the slow for Warlock already. They're going to pick up Shadow Word, so they have to hit Torrents pretty much.
Denied.
Or Bane has to somehow get a source of mana. And let's go. We're on the last hit, so we can see Nagasiren's leading the way, 18 for 3 on the top lane. Suffering wonderful time, pretty much freeform going on for her. And in second is going to be the Jungle Enigma, as you would expect, but the middle lane is going to be well in favor of Kazers, as he is 15 for 8 against the Tinker that's only 2 for nil. So really struggling for him. We'll see if 5 stars can capitalize on that advantage. And Queen of Pain already able to push the lane, get the rune up. So in invisibility, she'll make her way back to the middle lane. On the top lane, though, a little bit of harassment on 1488. But he does finish off a Ring of the Basilisk, so be able to maintain some mana as well as the armor and be able to push the wave. He probably needs to turn that ring off, though. Actually, I mean, it doesn't really matter all too much if he's under his own tower. And he is pushing the wave anyway, so... A little bit of overplay coming out from 1488, I believe. Probably should have just let that wave come to his tower instead of popping off the tombstone there. Would have got the maximum experience and possibly some last hits. But that's not that big of a deal. Amna Magori in the bottom lane is going to be up against Unagi. They're both standing pretty forward in the lane, but the Tidebringer damage is going to be enough to harass pretty effectively. Meanwhile, first blood in the middle lane. I do miss it. Kazers takes out Tinker. And a nice kill for Kazers. So being able to complement his really strong early start in terms of CS. 15 for 9. He's already dominating the Tinker and gets that first kill on him. Now he's going to pick up levels as well as gold on him, and this is going to be a snowball effect. They're going to have to move this Tinker. This is going to go poorly for him if they do not cope with it sooner than later, and a lot of teams do wait on this decision too often. We'll see what Ward have in mind. He probably can't come back to this middle lane. With a regen room, Queen of Pain can even take her ultimate at level 6, which usually you want to avoid, but able to ensure that she'll have enough mana for it. It'll be pretty safe to go for it. And Warlock on the bottom lane. The bottom lane is a little bit weird for Ward. They keep backing off, and I don't understand exactly why they want to back off. They have pretty much full control of it. And if they can get some pressure on the tower, they'd be better suited to do that, but they really need kills to come out from it if they want to get anything going, so keep that in mind as we continue on here. Kills are really important on this bottom lane, as it seems like that is what it's geared for. And now a dive on the middle tower, perhaps going to be turned around on top of Kazers as he had that good start, but he's going to turn back on Liam. If he gets one more scream, he's going to be dead. He needs an auto attack. Down goes Liam yet again, so Kazers picks up another kill in the middle lane, and looking great for him in the middle start. Like I said, he could not come into the middle lane. This is a lost effort. Queen of Pain is going to be able to take him out every time he steps up, especially now that he's got picked up 2 kills on him, so his experience lead is huge. And really needs to be concerned about that, and they need to do something. They need to rotate a support. Bottom lane isn't gaining them anything, so if they rotated off one of the supports, even Bane, just send him to the middle lane for a time being. It'll make him more safe. Have him sit there in the trees, sleep anyone that comes on him aggressively. That's what they need to do. They're not getting enough out of this bottom lane to merit having 3 heroes down here. So perhaps Ward needs to be a little bit quick on the switch. Meanwhile, in the top lane, we have another Tombstone coming up. So we'll see. 1488 is 9 for 1 on CS, so not too bad for the long lane solo. He's beating his middle solo, and even the support's beating his middle solo. So that's the last of me being mean to the Tinker, though. I'll start being more polite. And on the bottom lane, they really need to get something going, like I've been saying the whole time. And it's a little bit difficult to be patient with because you feel bad for Ward. They need to win one of these lanes, and I'm not sure they're winning any of them at the moment. They're definitely not winning middle or top, So bottom is their only option. A sleep on top of Tidehunter, perhaps. This is the aggression they're looking for. The Torrent to follow. This will break the sleep, and then if they follow it up with a Fatal Bonds as well as the Shadow Word, he should go down here. No, it looks like he's going to make it out with live. Oh, my. And Tidehunter can just walk right out of that. They throw every skill they have at him. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Cage is able to dive and take out Tinker yet again.
Piercing.
So another kill, and I'm not going to say it again, but you know what I'm thinking. 8A on the top lane, meanwhile, doing really well with farm. 46 for 13. Only one ahead of him is Enigma, and that's with jungle farm, so it's a little bit different. So really substantial farm for Nagasiren thus far. Kova is here to help him out, and of course that combo is very devastating if they can land it. But to his credit, 1488 has been playing very conservatively. Hasn't really risked too much, and therefore is still alive. But once Kova gets that level 6 up, they can consider diving and not be at too much of a risk. The skill build on Nagasiren is pretty standard. Picks up level 2 in net, has level 3 in the Riptide. So nothing out of the ordinary there. Kazers, meanwhile, is up to 600 gold, already has his treads finished, already has a Null Talisman, bottle, and is level 8, almost level 9. He's got Blink on Lean yet again, and this is going to be trouble for him, and he's going to he'll be able to stop him off just then. The laser comes out, and Kazers didn't really have enough mana. Some of the problems for an early game, Queen of Pain. Liam is going to back off, though. He's going to have to go all the way back to bases. He doesn't have enough regen. And here comes the switch. 148 is going to go down here. But now Liam is going to be a very dangerous position on the top lane. That is not where they needed to switch him. They needed to switch the tri-lane to the top and Liam to the bottom. In all honesty, those were the options that they had, and those were the best choices they could have went with. But for the time being, we'll see how he manages on the top lane. With it pushing, perhaps he can pick up some CS and some levels. But he is nowhere near where he wants to be. It's 8 minutes and 30 seconds in. He has 230 gold on top of starting items. So really, the downfall of Ward at the moment. 5 stars taking full advantage. Kaiser with the blood in his eye every time he sees Tinker come into the middle lane. Meanwhile, Amna Magori picks up level 6 in the bottom lane, so doing a really good job of getting those levels. Has a Ravage available, but in from behind we see Bane coming in. Can they take him out if they want to? It looks like the sleep's going to come up the Torrent to follow, but someone's going to break the sleep preemptively. Oh, it's going to actually be his skin is going to break the sleep. So that's one of the flaws, too. If he pops off a Ravage, he can probably kill 1 here. He might be able to kill 2. He doesn't use the Ravage, though, decides against it. Oh, I think he could have killed... He definitely could have got a kill on the Kunkka. His arch rival. Tidehunter versus Kunkka. Classic matchup. Isver and X remain on the lane, and they'll continue to farm. Meanwhile, it looks like Liam is going to be... Here comes the dive. Oh, and the ultimate from AA, and down he goes again. And ladies and gentlemen, this may be a quick one on our hands. As they're going to apply pressure, the middle tower is already dropped in favor of the Dire. The top tower is taking a lot of pressure from the Dire, and the bottom lane really has nothing going. If we take a look at the goal graph, I'm sure it's going to be already 7,500 in favor of the Dire. 5 stars with a resounding lead at less than 10 minutes. The experience graph over 7,500 as well, and looks like they're going to get the better of this one. They can throw out a net trap here. 8A a little bit cautious. They don't want to go too far in on him. Black Hole is available for Enigma, who's level 9. Pretty much just jungled for the entirety of the time until he just came out of the jungle there and surfaced, but got good farm going. As you can see, he's already about 100 gold away from picking up a mech. So a big pickup from him early on in the game. Meanwhile, let's see what Kunkka's farm is. It looks like he's 28 for 0, so has phase boots up, and he's only level 5. So really, the experience is really coming to hurt Ward at the moment. As a level 9 jungle Enigma, or look at this, Tide coming in yet again. They're going to try and set up on him, but it's going to be a turnaround as Queen of Pain is coming from the middle lane. The Ravage is popped. He's going to drop off the Anchor Smash here. It's going to deal a lot of damage. Isver is just barely alive. They're going to be able to take out Warlock. Oh, the gush to finish off Bane. The hit to finish off Warlock. And they're going to try and go for the triple kill. Onagi's the last man standing. Can they get him down? He goes. The kill goes to Queen of Pain. And wow. 3 easy kills. They blow up the tri-lane. The kill lead is 7-0. 5 stars. Putting on a clinic against Ward here. And meanwhile, a dive on the top lane. 8A able to take down Nagasiren under the tower. It looks like they're using Ice Blast as well. They're going to push on the bottom tower while they have some time. It's a full health tower, but that will be the 3rd tower to kill of the game. And there's no glyph available. And they have a catapult with a creep wave, so it's a good opportunity. It will definitely drop down to at least half. If they're able to keep it going, Cages can probably go ahead and nuke the wave. But there's going to be a TP in. It is going to be Undying. One of the more formidable heroes on the Radiant team for the time being. So he does scare Queen of Pain off a little bit, and he'll back off, respect him. I'm not Magori, pings the rune, and it will go to Queen of Pain. It's going to be a double damage. She'll pick that up in the river and rotate towards the middle lane, perhaps, where Liam is sitting there waiting to be preyed upon yet again. He's level 6. Enigma's level 10 as a jungler. Liam being the solo, and things just not going his way in this game. A sympathy for Liam, as he is probably going to regret this one. But you have to play in order to improve. So perhaps this is just a stepping stone for him in his road to future successes. And Kaze is going to jump right on top of 1488. And the ultimate comes out, and Sonic Wave takes him out instantly. Level 11 Queen of Pain drops off a Sonic Wave that melts down the Undying. That's been the story of the game thus far. If you're just joining me, I'm NYJohn. This is the Go for Dota Saturday Night Cup. Thank you for tuning in. We're watching 5 Stars versus Ward. And 5 Stars surely getting the best of Ward right now. 9-0 is the kill lead. They have 2 towers in their favor, soon to be 3 perhaps, as the bottom one is pretty low. But here's Ward with a response perhaps. The tri-lane has rotated to the top lane. Meanwhile, in the middle lane though, Liam, yet again, Tinker drops. And top lane, Kova rotates in. What can he do to defend this tower? In fact, they're just going to back off. 8A going to throw out net on top of Unagi. Unagi going to put a torrent down. It's actually going to catch off 8A. And they're going to think about backing up, but they freeze off Unagi from that nice combo. And he's going to continue. Now in comes Kazers from the side, and Kazers going to be able to secure the kill. It actually goes to Nagasiren, who picks up a blink. And Mr. Columbia goes in the middle, gets a black hole off. Ice Blast to follow, and down they go. Oh, 3 kills for 5 Stars. Up to 13-0. Now Mr. Columbia, Kazers, 8A, and Kova are going to continue to push this top lane.
Radiant's top tower is under
Meanwhile, bottom lane being pushed out by Amna Magori. He's not actually auto-attacking though, so a little bit conservative pushing effort. There it is. He does pick up a Ring of Health as well. I'm not sure item pickups are going to matter all too much though, as we do see Nagasiren went for a Blink Dagger as well as a Vanguard. Perhaps a little bit unusual, but the circumstances are a little bit unusual as well. So you can't really ascertain anything from that. You got to applaud the efforts of Ward staying in this one. The outlook has been grim for quite some time now, and they could have certainly given up, but they're going to play it out as long as they can. Unagi going to get netted up here. 8A in the middle of the fight. He's going to be slept up by Bane. He's going to pop out of the sleep. They're going to throw another Ice Blast out. It's not going to hit on top of X. And 3 are dead. They're going to go for the 4th. 8A in hot pursuit. They're going to put up the slow, and down he goes. Finished off by Queen of Pain, picking up that triple kill on the top lane. And they're going to march right into the base. Stars looking stellar in this one. And there's not much to say, in all honesty. We're going to see them try and defend this. But I'm not sure 5 Stars have to worry about backing off. I mean, they have such a significant level lead. And here comes a stun on top of Kazers. Mr. Columbia having to back off. Kazers just going to blink out. Mr. Columbia may actually drop here, and down he goes. So there's 1 kill for them. The first kill of the game for Ward. And we'll applaud that effort. And the Song of the Siren coming out a little late. 8A could have probably saved his teammate, but decides to use it afterwards. And we'll back off now. Kazer's going to come and just farm some of those zombies. He can turn around on this. He doesn't have any mana though. The slow comes out from Warlock and the blink of force from Kazers. He'll be safe. And Ward are going to have their eyes set on the middle tier 1 tower. If they can get it down, maybe they can get something going. However, the deficit is enormous. Over 15,000 gold in favor of the Dire, as well as over 15,000 experience. We're only at 15 minutes. So 1,000 gold a minute in favor of the Dire. And here it comes, March of the Machines to try and take down the wave. The tower's taking a lot of damage. Ice Blast got to come in. Can they turn it around on them? It's going to deal a lot of damage. What level is Ancient Apparition? He's level 8, so it's just the level 6 Ice Blast. On that, Margori going to try and run in here. He does have a Hood of Defiance finished up. Also has 1,200 gold in the bank. He's going to put a gush on top of Liam, and Liam, his day was bad, but it's just getting worse as he drops to Amna Magori, the Anchor Smash, to finish him off. Mr. Columbia comes in as well, and they're going to try and go for the tier 2 tower in the middle lane now. Kazer's sitting on full mana. Should be pretty easy. Picks up a Dagon as well. Insult to injury.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And they're going to go ahead and go for this tier 2 tower in the middle lane, as all of Ward have backed off. Meanwhile, let's check out the rest of the item pickups on 5 stars while we have a chance. 8A does pick up Arcane Boots, pretty standard. Kova picks up Wards because he's on ward duty. Magori decides to save his gold, perhaps going for a Blink Dagger next. He's on 1500. We do see the rock dropped, and Mr. Columbia may be in trouble. He doesn't have a black hole available if they want to try and turn this. The ultimate pop by 1488. In comes the Sonic Wave from Kazers, and Mr. Columbia going to pop out. He can turn this around. The Malphite stun on top of 1488. He will drop the boat's going to come in, but one hand on black hole. Lima's in the middle of it. Unagi's in the middle of it. Unagi is going to drop in a moment here, or maybe not. The Ice Blast coming in. Will it catch both of them? It's going to hit both. Down goes Unagi. Down goes Leem. Great play by Ancient Apparition. What a blast. Catches them both. Really well placed. And good game well played is the call. 1488 conceding this one. And Ward, as I said, sat through this for quite a while. Props to them. But 5 stars just getting the better of them in this matchup. And we saw the unique picks in the beginning. I had to wonder what they had in mind. But apparently 5 stars were not daunted by those unique picks. Instead, they just played their game and executed very well. And 18 minutes in, we have GG calls, disconnects from Ward. And congratulations to 5 stars for winning this round as well. I believe there's still one more game, but I'm not entirely sure. This is the Go for Dota Saturday Night Cup. Go check out gofordota.com and sign up there if you want to play weekly cups. Some of them are for pride, some of them are for prizes. You have to pay attention and sign up for them. And it's definitely a good opportunity to play in a tournament format, play different teams that you don't always play, experience yourself on different servers as well. As we can probably check quickly before it ends up here. This was a European server, and 5 stars are a South American team, so they're playing on 250 ping, which is something you really have to get used to if you want to be a part of the competitive Dota scene, being used to dealing with some adversity in terms of latency and lag. So 5 stars execute really well and pull out with a win in that one. Thank you for watching. I'm NYJohn. I hope you enjoyed the broadcast, albeit a pretty quick match, and I'll see if we have another one coming up. And thank you for tuning in, and here's some music.